Hey everybody, I'm in Mobile, Alabama tonight for this blog update in a hotel. So, what better time to do a blog update, right? Nothing else going on. Just kind of want to update you on January 2023. Big thing that we did was we just started telling people. We started posting on Facebook and Twitter, mainly because we'd reached what I felt like was a solid enough critical mass, I guess, for people to actually visit the site and have something to come see. Whereas if we'd have done it, back in the fall, people get there and there's only 10 or 12 posts. You spend 30 minutes on the site and you're done. So I think it was a good decision. I'm glad in hindsight we did it that way because people have kind of stayed through the month. I think we sort of announced it January 7th or so. And throughout the month, we saw steady traffic, which was really encouraging. For a while, we were writing to no one really. We were just filling this web page and spending so much time building content, and weren't sure really if anyone was ever going to see it. But now we've had I think 224 unique visitors to the site in January. I think it was around 860 page views, which is a multiple of at least 10 of anything we've experienced before. The first month, we had around 500 page views, but I think a lot of that is like bot traffic. When you first create a site, people checking you out, see what kind of site you are. I don't really know that for sure, but I think that's what it was, because a lot of those visits were from places like India, China, Malaysia, things like that, which obviously seems a lot. But anyway, all that said, that's where all our traffic's coming from is social media right now. We have very little web traffic. We did rank for 2 keyword searches around backdoor and mega backdoor Roths. I have no idea how. Google still won't index our site, regardless of how many times I try to get it to do so. I have a feeling one day it will happen, but I'm learning a lot about that. There's this sandbox concept they have where new sites sort of get left in the sandbox to see if they're for real. And kind of what they do is just measure your consistency and the sort of the authoritativeness and just sort of the trustworthiness of your site. Their algorithm is trying to evaluate if you're a real person or if you're artificial intelligence building a site, which is a totally new thing to me too. I hope they can tell the difference, but it's kind of a waiting game. You're just not going to rank for a lot of the stuff you're writing about until you've, paid your dues in a way, so to speak. I guess they just want to see if you're going to quit or not. But with all that said, I don't really feel strongly that I need that as much as I once did. I really wanted this thing, obviously, to be viewed by a lot of people, but just knowing that anyone's looking at it, friends, relatives, whatever, is meaningful to me. It makes it feel like it was worthwhile. So. And then something else I've been reading a little bit. There's a book called Show Your Work I'm reading. Still Like an Artist is another good book out there that you can read along these concepts of just by creating and engaging in that process, you learn a lot. And I have learned so much since we started this back in really end of July last year. And I guess the website actually went live August 29th or 30th, 2022. So it's going great. We still have not made $1. We don't have any way to make money on the site right now. There's lots of ways you can approach that, but we just frankly I just don't care that much about it at the moment. It's just not that big a deal. Besides, there's not enough traffic to really generate anything of significance, so why even bother focusing on it? So lessons learned, just kind of go over a few things just for posterity and for those of you who are interested. We have 65 posts up on the site. I think one of the big things I learned by waiting until January to really go public, if you will, is how to write. You get in a rhythm when you do it a couple times a week. You learn a lot about just doing it. I don't know how to say it. Just the practice of it, you kind of generate a skill. And after we built up, 50, 60 posts, I started going back through all of our old posts from August, September, October, and found a lot of errors. There were just a lot of really poorly communicated, they probably still are, but some really bad ones that just stood out where we just missed things. There were homonyms that were misspelled, like since, S-I-N-C-E, and S-E-N-S-E. I found several of those things. I felt like an idiot looking at it, but probably no one ever saw it, but it doesn't matter. But I caught a lot of things. By going back and doing that, you kind of realize that you've made progress. You've come a little ways. So that was good. Another is just being patient. I really, this month has brought me a lot of contentment. December was humility. This month is about contentment. I'm really happy. I have no idea where this is going to go. I really don't. We're open to whatever, even if it's just what's happened so far. And we just have a couple hundred friends that look at it and they've given us great feedback, been so kind. I'm not a web developer at all, but you guys have said nothing but nice things about the site and the way it's laid out, its appearance, even the content. And I can't thank you enough for all that. It's been great. So being patient is a good lesson. We got time, no big deal. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing, and hopefully this will continue to grow. Let's see. I talked about writing to learn. I talked a little bit about web domains and algorithms. There were a couple of errors I found in our sitemap, the way it was being generated and the way that address was shared with Google was wrong, which is pretty bad. That's kind of a key step and sort of a faux pas, if you will, if you're starting a new site. So lesson learned. It is what it is. I think I've got it all straightened out now, and hopefully that'll lead to some better search results, because ultimately if we want it to grow, it's going to have to come from web search. Friends and neighbors on Facebook's just not going to carry it very long. It does build legitimacy, people coming to the site. So if you're visiting, please keep clicking on the links. Please come. It's helpful. But ultimately we gotta expand if we're going to get there. So I have to balance this, desire for growth with not allowing the desire to please an algorithm basically be the tail that wags the dog, if you will. I still want to put content up there that's readable, that's relevant, even if it is super competitive, even if it has low odds of barely being seen much, just because part of it's, a big part of it is because I just enjoy doing it, frankly. So I'm going to keep doing it, and we'll see what happens. Goals going forward, we've been on a 2 post per week pace. I'm going to keep that up. We got kids, we got jobs. I'm in Mobile right now because of my normal job. Traveling this week, and then Lisa has to travel some as well. We're doing what we can do. And I'm not apologizing for that at all. It's 2 is still great. And it'll grow, we got time. We do want to try to look into generating some revenue from it, not because we want the money necessarily, because we're a long way from being anything like a decent money-making site. But if we just let things run as they are now, I'll incur about $80 of cost each year just for maintaining the site, just to have the domain, just to have the software I'm using available for the web design piece of it, which makes my life a lot easier, which I can afford. But there's this principle stuck in my craw, if you will, that I just wanted to pay for itself. And if it does, it's not a big deal. Again, it's only $80 a year. What is that, like $13, $14 a month? So I don't know. It's just a goal. So hopefully we'll be able to do that by the end of the year. If we can just get it making $20 a month, that'd be more than enough to cover what we want to do, and then it would allow us to expand, to do some new things. I would like to have a lot more like graphic stuff on the site. I know nothing about that. Thankfully, my twin brother is a graphic designer, so maybe he can steer me in the right direction, or even, I don't know, be like my critical support if I totally screw that up. But there's just a lot of numbers in our site and the topics that we're doing, and it would be very great if there were more interactive graphics and stuff. They can make a lot more attractive and useful. Which brings me to another goal is to do more quality. You know, you go to the site now and you read a post and it's a lot of words, which is fine. Ultimately, it's a teaching site. You go there to learn, so it's going to be that way. But there's ways to approach it to make it more helpful, kind of cut to the quick, and provide opportunities for people to come get the basic information they need real fast and go away if they'd like. And then also have the details there for people like me who want to just know all the minutia down to the last iota, if you will. And then YouTube. I've made 4 or 5 of these blog updates. I haven't edited a single one yet. They're just sitting on my phone, eating up memory. I'm doing this one from a hotel just to be different. But we need to put something out there. I just frankly don't have the time to learn video editing and getting that software and starting that process, but I'm going to have to sooner or later, so we'll see. Yeah, that's really about it. Yeah, I think one thing that's sort of come up a lot in the last month since we've sort of been sharing this with our friends is like, why are you doing this? What's the purpose behind it? And I'll be honest, I don't really know what the end game is. It's really literally just an interest I have, something I wanted to do. It felt challenging in a productive, educational way to use my time, so that's it. That's what I did. And I don't know if it means we're open to things like teaching other people about this kind of stuff. We're open to, I've got probably 100,000 words of material I could turn into a book or something, or I thought about, I would really be interested in buying a rental property, maybe. I don't know if we'll do that or not, but it'd be cool to do that and document it and just be open about the whole thing. This is how much it was. This is what we put down. This is our cash on cash and return on all that. Because I've always been curious about doing that and seeing if it would be a good way to generate I guess, alternate source of income, if you will, or if it's just a major headache. Because that honestly is my fear, is that I get some knucklehead tenant that pours concrete down the toilet and tries to heat the house with a stove or something. So you never know, but we'll see where it goes. We're open to whatever. I really don't have any great insights or goals. We both are very busy, like I said, with our normal jobs, very happy in those jobs. This is just kind of a whimsical side project, so we'll see. Thank you again for all of your interest, for every one of you who have sent a comment about anything regarding the site that was positive. Thank you. And even for those of you, no one has said anything negative yet, and you're probably all too polite to do so. But if there's anything you see that's an obvious miss or room for improvement or a topic that we haven't covered that you'd be interested in, let me know. Kurt@martinmoney.com is the email. You can also go to the website, the contact page, just fill out the form. It comes to the same email account, or text me, call me, whatever, if you're a friend. Whatever. We just want this to be as good as it can be. So hope you're good. Thank you again for your interest, and y'all take care.